Hello, my name is Amos Tarfa, and in this video I want to answer some questions and present a general overview for how the Learning Institute for Excellence, our organization, and in the US, and Spark Learn, our organization in Nigeria, how they are seeking to provide services and support to schools in Nigeria. I'm going to give some practical examples. We're providing services to schools in Nigeria and Africa as a whole. And so where I want to begin is just a little bit about my background, and then I want to dive into the details relating to our services. I grew up in Nigeria. I'm from Adamawa State, Nigeria. I grew up in Lagos. I went to Air Force Primary School, Victoria Island, Lagos, and then Federal Government College, Ijanikin, Lagos. I was the head boy in 2004, 2005, and during that time I did a lot of writing, and I wanted to encourage my classmates and also the students that I was leading as their head boy. And some of those writings became a resource after I graduated in 2005. While waiting for the University of Jos, I started visiting different schools and just giving talks and hoping to inspire them to live lives that made sense. And that was when I wrote my first book called Achieving Excellence as a Young Person. While I was traveling around different parts of Abuja, somebody heard about this and invited me to the US Embassy Education Advising Center. He's based in Jos now, and he encouraged me to consider applying to school in the US. And I did. At that time, it wasn't even in the picture. I was going to become a doctor like Dr. Ben Carson so I could inspire young people. That was the reason why I came to the US, was partly to get my medical degree to become a pediatrician. But there was another part of me that really wanted to help in the education arena. That had always been there, but there was probably not an outlet for me to consider at the time. And so I graduated with a pre-med degree in chemistry with a minor in philosophy. And I was going to do my PhD. At this point, I had pivoted to maybe focusing on the mind and not just, focusing on the mind rather than just dealing with the health that, concerns people had. And again, I'm grateful for people who are doctors, but for me, I was torn. There was the education element. And so I spoke at a chapel at a school in Duluth, Minnesota, and I was asked, they told me about a position involving the teaching mathematics. Now, I loved teaching mathematics. I had taught it during the university years in the math lab. So I loved teaching mathematics, and now I had an opportunity to teach mathematics. And so I did. Instead of doing my PhD, I taught mathematics for 2 years. It was during this time I began to realize some gaps in the education system, and it led me to a project that led to a book called Tools for Mastering Mathematics. So in this book, which is free, and I'll send to you now, there's a PDF, or actually you see it in the description section if you'd like it. But in this PDF, I talk about strategies for becoming very good at math. I tell students that I answer the question of what is mathematics, and then I try to help them understand how to be very good at mathematics. And then at the end of the book, I actually present a list of all the math topics anybody learns from primary 1 to SS3 essentially, or just everything people need to learn in mathematics from first grade to 12th grade. We have a list, a long list, right? About 800-900 topics of ideas and concepts. So I did this in 2012, 2013. That's when I really started getting into the curriculum work. Now, I did it for the American framework, but during December of 2013, I actually came to Nigeria, had some conversations with people, and I also wanted to change things in Nigeria. So for about 12 years, this has been something that I started looking at a long time ago. And what we've done now is we've taken all the curriculum, right? Whether it's from the different schemes of work or the different textbooks. We've taken all these textbooks. We have all of them here. New General Mathematics. We have Understanding Mathematics. We have all the books. And think of it this way. Imagine if you condense all the topics from all of them into one book. Imagine you have one book. And in that book, it has everything that a student would learn. Everything they need. That is the idea of counting to calculus. Counting to calculus is saying everything everybody needs to learn from the very first topic all the way to calculus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we condense it into one book or one journey? And then students can find where they are in that journey. If they're stuck somewhere, we find why they're stuck, and then we help them get back on track. So counting to calculus is the world's first comprehensive curriculum that does not limit itself to grade levels or anything or age, and it simply says, do you want to learn mathematics from counting to calculus? There's 16 workbooks behind me for the counting to calculus series. In these 16 workbooks, they are dedicated to different aspects of mathematics, and people can move at the pace of their mastery. So what we want to do for schools is we want to provide them with a place to be able to give their students tools to fix any gaps in their math understanding so that they can flourish in mathematics. And so the way we work with schools is like this. So that's a little bit about me. That's a little bit about background. The last thing about me is I'm a medical physicist who works in radiology in different aspects of cardiology, radiology, and radiology with cath labs and CT scanners and ultrasound, MRI. So I work in medical physics as a physicist, but I also write and teach mathematics and physics. But I also teach AI fluency and digital literacy. So that's a little bit of my background. I have a team of people that help with the different courses and a team that is now doing more work in curriculum development. And so how do we work with schools? The way we work with schools involves three things. The first thing is we like to talk to the teachers and support them. If you study Singapore is one of the countries with the best math curriculum in the world. This is the math curriculum from Singapore. So if you look at Singapore math, and you look at what they're doing in Singapore, they're doing some things that are very similar to Nigeria, actually. This is their regular math and then their advanced math or further mathematics. So if you look at Singapore, you realize that they have a very good and robust math program. And so we train teachers to be very good at what they do, but we are also learning from Singapore. Singapore has about 100 hours of teacher training. Some of these countries have about 100 hours of teacher training. And so when we look at them, they're always number one, right? These countries that are always number one, you begin to wonder, what can we do to become number one in mathematics in the world, in Nigeria or what other African countries? How can we begin to move to the top, in mathematics and science? Well, part of that is going to involve teacher training. So that's number one. So there's teacher training. So we do that for schools. Once a month, we'll meet with your teachers. But even between the meetings, your teachers are always welcome to email. They're always willing to reach out. The other thing we do is we look at the curriculum of your school. Okay, we take what curriculum are you using? What is your scheme of work? And we literally give you some advice and strategies about how to better position your school to become very competitive globally competitive, not just competitive in one state in Nigeria or one region of Africa. No, we want your school to be one of the best in the world. That's the benchmark. And by God's grace, I teach and help. I do some teacher training in the US for schools that are very good as well. So we are doing that with schools in the US. We're trying to help more schools here. And we're bringing some of those same resources to Nigeria, the same resources to Africa. And it comes down to things like teaching deliberate practice, teaching you how to help your students learn how to practice, teaching you how to teach your students learn how to practice. Why does that matter? Because your students should be able to not just do the work you're giving them, they should be able to know how to approach problems in different ways so that they can, they can use different practice techniques to make great progress. So that's part of what we're doing with Counting to Calculus for teacher training, is we're training teachers to give their students the best, the advantage, so to speak. So that's number one. Number two, we are willing to meet with the parents of your school through like parent-teacher meetings. We want to meet with all the parents and give them a vision for mathematics, a vision that goes beyond, like, this is just one of the tools. We have other tools. This is part of why this initiative is called the Institute for Excellence in Mathematics and STEM plus AI. The Institute for Excellence in Mathematics and STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics plus AI. So we're basically saying, how do we help children flourish in science and mathematics in the AI revolution? That's what we're doing, is we're teaching students how to have a deep understanding of mathematics. So Counting to Calculus is one resource. There are other resources that are coming out. There are other tools that people will have. And we can create tools for your school to meet the needs of your school. If your school needs more worksheets of certain kinds, we will generate and get you those resources. So we are on standby to support your school year round. We're meeting with your teachers 12 times a year, so once a month. We're also inviting them to any national conferences we host. They will get the front row seats for those who are in our network of schools. So number one, we want to provide teacher training monthly, while we also provide an online portal and access to material for them to learn more in between our meetings. They can reach out if they have questions at any time. Number two, we're providing parent education, because with the AI revolution, it's changing how education is going to work. So we want to be there for parents and support them to make sense of things. And here's the other thing we're doing. We're providing digital literacy and AI fluency. All of those three things for the parents and the teachers. This is unique. We want the parents to understand how AI works and where there's risks and benefits. We want them to understand, because a home that has a parent who has a solid understanding of AI will help their students better than a home that doesn't have that. So we want parents to have a solid understanding of AI, a solid understanding of digital literacy. What is Google Drive? What is Google Docs? What is Zoom? How does it work? What is a computer program? We're going through all of these, right? So this is available to your parents at no cost to your parents, by the way. So we have a flat fee to set up for your school. We have $100 a month is the price for your school, or we round it down in Naira to 140,000 Naira per month. That's the flat fee. And then we have a per teacher fee. For every teacher that you want to join our program, we charge a fee. There's a small fee for that. That's $10 a month. But again, for those who are in the pilot early adopters phase, we can have a conversation about some of those rates. There's a third thing that we do for schools. So we have the program that is for teachers, for parents, and for students. For your students, we have resources online. We have resources like these workbooks that they can get at a very good deal to help them learn. And then we have tutors that will work with them. Imagine having tutors that are available every day at 7 or 8 p.m. in the evening to answer any questions that your students or your children have. And your children are learning with people from all around the world who are studying these concepts. There's students in Singapore that are going to use this. There's students in America and in England. So your students are learning with a global community every day. They're learning with their own classmates. We are providing that opportunity Mondays through Thursdays. We're going to have those evening sessions for your students to ask questions. We want them to be very good at math. And so we're going to give them our price at a bulk rate. So if you came and said, I want one-on-one tutoring for a student, there's a price point there, right? But if you come to us and say, I want tutoring for my child in this group program from my school, your child is going to get the best rate ever, right, that we offer. And so basically think about paying about $1 a day. Imagine paying about $1 a month. Imagine paying about $1 a month, and that gives your child access to a global community of scholars for $1 a month. So they get to receive some lessons, they get to ask questions, they get to send in their questions, and they get to learn calculus early. They learn mathematics early. So that is what we're doing with this program. I hope this has been helpful, but we are open to 100 schools for 2026. So if you are interested in joining this, please reach out to amosthemathguy@gmail.com, amosthemathguy@gmail.com. The setup is that you have to pay the first month. So you pay the first month to get into the system. Again, we are trying to build a long-term collaboration with schools. And that's why we want people to see it as a year-long commitment, at least to start. And we are available to answer questions, to make edits and improve things. We are a company that wants to keep improving continually. So we are starting in January now. We are taking schools now. We have room for 100 schools in 2026. And basically, you have the flat rate fee of $100 per month, which gives you access to all the curriculum we've designed. And we review your curriculum. We give you feedback. But then for the teacher training, that's $10 per teacher per month. And then there's the $1 per student per month for those who want that service, where their students enter into our ecosystem of extra math lessons and support, with our resources being built here in the US, in Texas. So if you have any questions, thoughts, comments, objections, please feel free to reach out. Our goal is to see your students be the best in the world in mathematics and science, and ultimately in all their academic work. We want them to start shining. We have other resources for schools, such as our Amplify program, where we audit your website and we support you in that as well. Those are just JARA, we call it. So we want your school to really get solid in transformation and being an example for the world, right? In education flourishing. We want them to be an example for the world, where students are learning how to do well in math, in science, in English, in history. Your teachers are confident and understand how to navigate the education landscape. Your parents are not confused about all the AI things going on. Some of it is noise, some of it is relevant. That is what we're offering to schools. And we would love to work with your school. Please reach out to amosthemathguy@gmail.com, amosthemathguy@gmail.com, or you can find us on our website, which is countingtocalculusandbeyond.com, countingtocalculusandbeyond.com. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to working with you. Take care and have a blessed day.